Who gave him the talking point? My guess is it was their Israeli handlers.
Like, this is more Zog than Nazis. As somebody who debated more Nazis than probably any other large commenter on the internet, this is like more mask off than the Nazis would be. It's crazy.
Big revelations in tonight's show. So
big revelations.
We've got developments in our war against Iran, our war against Canada now, because they're the most entitled country.
Right.
Canada is.
And
Canada
not Israel?
Is, not Israel.
Sorry.
No, they're.
I didn't think you were going to say that. I'm sorry.
Pre-watched. Entitled at all. Just Canada. Okay, insanity everywhere you look. In fact, speaking of Israel, unfortunately, we have more news about their latest terrorist attacks, destroying civilian facilities, murdering more civilians as usual, bombing places of worship because they are an out-of-control fascist country. So that's later in the program. But super interesting. Yesterday we told you Hakeem Jeffries meeting with Jared Kushner, and we think we know why, and it has nothing to do with affordability. We're gonna prove that to you guys tonight. And we found out what Hakeem Jeffries promised Jared Kushner. That's our analysis of it, and what he has already delivered. So an amazing show tonight, chock full of information.
Okay.
All right, Casper, what do you want to start with?
I actually want to start with something that we did not prepare for a segment on the show today, but it's been on my mind and I would like to sound off. So,
what do you got?
Hassan Piker, who is known to say provocative things.
Out of context jokes that he's apologized for and didn't say. Come on.
Hassan loves to say provocative things. I mean, he's a Twitch streamer. Okay, there's a lot of edgelord commentary from Twitch streamers, including Hassan.
Yeah.
But something that he said that was not at all edgelordy or at all provocative is he said that it is wrong to conflate Zionism and the actions carried out by Israel with the Jewish population, with Jews. Judaism, generally speaking. It's a point that we've made on this show. And in fact,
this is the thing that makes me not respect Dan the most, is even when Hassan is out here repping you guys the hardest, you still have zero consideration for him.
I have to give our strongest Jewish anti-Semitism warriors like Hassan Piker, who fights for Judaism harder than anyone. I have to give him his toughest challenges, or else he's not going to stay as the biggest soldier. That's just facts.
He said that it puts our Jewish brothers and sisters in danger by conflating the two, because what it does is it blames Jewish people overall for the crimes against humanity carried out by Israel. That is literally, and I'm not exaggerating, the least controversial thing Hassan Piker has ever said. In comes Neera Tanden, okay? A supposed Democrat who—
This is one of Hassan's night terror demons or whatever. Her and Shannon.
A few of them now.
Yeah, her and Shannon.
There's another one too.
Oh, that one, the one woman who—
Who's the guy? No, there's a guy he called out and he's like, I don't like this guy.
Goldblatt?
He's doing research on me. No, that's the ADL guy.
ADL guy?
There's
Yeah,
another
I hate him.
is
there's a dude
night and day on how to help a Republican, Mike Rogers, win a Senate seat in Michigan. So Hassan did some campaigning with Abdullah Sayed, the Democrat who won the Democratic primary for that Senate seat in Michigan. Scumbags like Neera Tanden can't handle it. And so again, working overtime to use Hassan Piker's commentary, somehow blame Abdul al-Sayed for that commentary, even though in this case, the commentary isn't even controversial or inaccurate. And this is all her effort to destroy his chances of winning that Senate seat and helping Mike Rogers win the Senate seat.
And it's way worse than that. So first, Neera Tanden is a corporate and foreign government sellout. Everybody knows that. She's one of the leading establishment figures, loves corporate corruption. She's notorious for it. And and she also does the disgusting identity politics, like if anyone accuses Hakeem Jeffries of criticizing.
They hate, remember, these guys hate identity politics now. Now, ignore the fact that Hassan calls literally every single person that criticizes him or Abdul Islamophobic, but you know.
Of anything. Jim Clyburn. Why? Because they support corporations and foreign governments. So Nir views it as her responsibility to protect the deeply, deeply corrupt. But she does sexist, anti-Semite, all the bag of tricks, right? But if it was just Nir Tanden, yeah, that's to be expected, right? That
that's to be expected, yes.
Yeah, but it is coordinated, guys. And this is what you have to understand, and why the establishment's never gonna change, and why we're on a direct collision course here. And I don't know what's gonna happen with the country, because it is so highly coordinated. Josh Gottheimer also attacking and using the same exact talking point. Hillary Schulten, a so-called Democrat from Michigan, using the same exact talking point. And it doesn't matter, I can keep going and going and going.
Okay, so pause.
Hold on.
Okay.
Dozens of media figures, dozens of politicians, by the way, Democrats, all attacking Democratic candidates because of their connection to Hassan, and this disingenuous quote, as if Hassan meant.
By the way, have any Democratic candidates attacked Abdul? Or is it, I feel like it's been exclusively on. I feel
like it's been exclusively who's campaigning
on Hassan. With. I don't even know if they've mentioned Abdul, or if they've just been like condemned like Hassan's statements. Maybe somebody has, but you know.
To hurt Jews when he was saying, let's protect Jewish Americans. All of them know that that's a lie.
It's so funny here though, like this is exactly, Corgi Dog brought up a good point. It's so funny that this would be exactly the way that you would expect things to be going, in the exact opposite. That ideally, you would want streamers to lend some kind of credibility, or you'd want influence to lend credibility to politicians, but instead they're basically trying to use Abdul as a human shield for Hassan, to use Abdul to like launder Hassan's reputation, which is fucking crazy, weird lack of prioritization on political power.
All of them have seen the full quote, and all of them are lying to you on purpose not to attack Hassan. And Anna, no one knows this better than I do, because remember when I ran for Congress in 2020, I was viciously attacked, totally lied about. It wasn't about me. It was because Bernie Sanders had endorsed me. They do smear by proxy.
You want to know something funny?
So
apparently, Cenk likes animals or something. Like he predated dog warts. You ever see this guy's article about it? Animals?
He likes
Why
animals?
Are you saying nothing? He had like an article about animals or
about having sex with animals.
Yeah.
Okay. What, in like college?
I think it was an early one on the Young Turks.
Okay. That's weird.
Have you not seen the scale of how much do you love animals? And on one side is Cenk, and on the other side is Hassan Piker.
No, I feel like usually it's Hassan Piker with Vosh on the other side.
No, there's one with Cenk.
Oh,
that was a good joke, Steven. I liked it.
Oh well, I wasn't even joking. I've seen that meme before.
No, yeah,
there's a meme where it's like how much do you love
meme,
animals,
yes.
and then on one side I think it's like, and then Vosh, whatever.
It was a comment Cenk made about horses, I think. I know Bernie did the. I'll take a look. I'll give for it. Until I say otherwise, assume nothing happened. Okay? I'm speculating. I have no proof of anything. I'll find it.
Okay. Then they said, you see, Bernie's guilty, guilty, guilty. And they all did it in unison. CNN, New York Times, LA Times. There is coordinated strategy in this country to destroy any candidate
who's not the
that
establishment
Israel opposes. And yes, that includes Jewish candidates like Bernie.
It was him legalizing bestiality, apparently.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Sanders, who they despised. AIPAC absolutely despises Bernie and Abdul El-Sayed and everyone that Hassan has endorsed. So all of the Democrats, this vote blue no matter who Democrats, are now saying, do not vote for our party. Do not vote for our candidates.
Don't worry, I won't. I think the Democratic establishment is scum. Honestly, I'm so black-pilled on Democrats at this point.
Me too,
I'm not invested.
Anna.
I think you guys can tell.
Yeah.
I don't really cover the races. I don't care. I don't care, because the Democratic Party is so far gone and so delusional. They're a part and parcel of the Republican Party. How are they different? How are they different on the issues that matter? They're not.
You're right.
Okay, they dive into the culture war issues, which honestly I personally hate. The identity politics, which I personally hate. That's what you get from them. You don't get improvements on healthcare. You don't get improvements on immigration. You don't get improvements on anything with the mainstream Democratic Party or the mainstream Republican Party. They're both trash. I want to be very clear about that. But here's what I also can't stand, Cenk. Rather than do what I think is the right approach in response to these phony allegations, this is what I would do. I would do a press conference if I were Abdullah
It really
Sayed,
is
and I'd be like,
identical to Newsmax, isn't it?
Yeah, sure
It's
is.
like word for word. Can we imagine they're talking about Trump for a second? Like, go back like 30 seconds. Just imagine this is about like Trump.
I believe you.
And okay.
I didn't know that members of the Democratic establishment wanted to
All poor people.
accuse
Oh, sorry.
Jews in America of being complicit in Israel's crimes against humanity. That's what they think about Jewish people, apparently.
Damn.
They're anti-Semites.
They're
Hey,
anti-Semites.
They are. We keep saying it's Israel, the government of Israel, and they keep saying, no, it's the Jews, it's the Jews.
Yeah.
Say it's the Jews. Well, we're not gonna say it because we're not anti-Semites like Neera Tanden, Josh Gottheimer. Oh, what? Oh, just because you're Jewish?
They're
You did it to
anti-Semites?
Bernie. Yes.
Those people, yeah, duh. The real anti-Semites are the Jews. That's why they call them Nazis, idiot.
Self-hater, trying to get Jewish people harmed just to protect Israel. And why? Because they're in a cult. They're in a fascist nationalist cult that doesn't have anything to do with Judaism.
Yeah.
It has to do with toxic
Oh my God,
nationalism.
I feel bad.
Must protect Israel.
His
If they
tweet
have to
this
destroy.
morning,
What?
he's trying to be like this. Cenk's tweet this morning. He's trying to like grab onto some of Hassan's fame, and he's just like no one cares.
Oh, I mean, the Young Turks has kind of been on the outs for a little bit. That's why Anna has kind of done a bunch of other stuff, and then Cenk is just going wacky as fuck.
He's like, hey Hassan, what can I say? Can I say that we all know who's doing it? Hassan's like, yeah, that's a good one.
Destroy Jewish Americans along their way. They don't mind if they have to smear them, if they have to spread anti-Semitism like Hillary Scholten is and Ken Martin is, and everyone doing these talking points, and everyone in television who's constantly saying, when legitimate critics of Israel say, hey, the problem is this government doing terrible things, they all say, no, it's the Jews, it's the Jews. Jake Tapper, Dana Bash, etc. Jews, Jews. Why do you keep saying it's the Jews? What kind of weirdo self-haters are you? Or what kind of disgusting anti-Semites are you?
Because
we're saying it's not the Jews. What is wrong with you?
It's because they are Zionists,
oh my God.
and they want to use the Jewish population as human shields. That is what they do.
True.
But Abdullah Sayed, now I have a bone to pick with him.
Uh-oh.
Okay, because
Really?
Then the guys in the real world have to figure, wait, what? You're mad at me? Hold on, wait, they don't know about the internet lefty purity testing.
yeah, I do.
And
I
it
do have a bone to
all
pick with him.
falls down.
Why are you putting out a statement saying my response to Hassan Piker's comment? What are you doing? Here's what you never do. You never cower in the face of the mob. But he did it. He did it. So congratulations. If
Good
you
job.
don't want the
Good job,
heat
Abdul.
that will be directed at you by campaigning with a Twitch streamer, then don't campaign with a Twitch streamer. If you don't want to deal with the heat, then don't do it. But if you're gonna apologize, I mean, look, he didn't apologize in his statement, to be fair, but the opening to his statement.
This was gross. Why didn't Abdul throw himself onto the pyre and set himself on fire to celebrate Hassan Piker and to defend his reputation? God damn it!
Made it seem like he's apologizing or he's trying to distance himself from Haas. You want to distance yourself from Haas? Fine, I don't really care. But what that demonstrates is weakness, is pathetic weakness, in my opinion.
All right, well, let me tell you what I would have done, and then you tell me if this makes sense to you.
Yeah, what would you have done?
No, it's also weakness, right? What I would have done is
I also like we're just accepting this non-critically. Oh, tell me what you would have done to defend somebody that is of the exact same political persuasion of you, who's also your nephew. Go ahead and tell us what you would have done. Like, Jesus Christ.
what I have done, which is, look, I don't agree with a lot of things Haas says, and we're from two different wings of the Democratic Party. I'm in the populist left, he's DSA, right? And we separate on cultural issues and communism and socialism and all that stuff, right? But anyone attacking Haas on that particular comment, on that specific comment, is lying to you on purpose to destroy Democratic candidates on behalf of Israel. And that is incredibly strange, guys. Let that soak in for a second.
For Israel.
It's by definition coordinated. There are dozens of people in politics in the Democratic Party and in media
literally
using the same exact talking.
Remember, Cenk hasn't believed in the, Cenk doesn't believe in the 9/11 story, right?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? Like he doesn't believe that.
February
like, the
13th,
terrorists
2026. I no longer believe the official 9/11 story. 2 paper passports did not burn and were found on the rubble, but it was so hot World Trade Center 7 burned down across the street. Nonsense. It's time to look for who gained from 9/11. Our government doesn't work for us. They've been lying the whole time. To my normie friends who will be outraged by this, we have been brainwashed by corporate media all our lives. They said that anything that isn't the official government story is a conspiracy theory. Only insane people believe, to gaslight you and to never question the government. Why am I questioning this now? It's obvious. We just found out our government was lying to us for decades about a child ring inside America, and our government protected the predators instead of American children. You have to be an idiot to trust the U.S. government. I also think that they uncritically played segments of, or a lot of, I think Tucker Carlson did a retreading of going over 9/11 or something. Was it Tucker Carlson? And they obviously uncritically just believed all of it. It just
wasn't loose change. It was like
no. It was a new. I think it was a new thing that I think that Tucker made.
Talking point right now. So they got that talking point from someone, they were told to disseminate it, and they all in unison disseminated. So who told them? Who gave them the talking point? My guess is it was their Israeli handlers.
Like, this is more Zog than Nazis. As somebody who debated more Nazis than probably any other large commenter on the internet, this is like more mask off than the Nazis would be. It's crazy.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay, I'm not exaggerating at all. Tom Massey said everyone in Congress has an Israeli handler.
They sure do.
So now they say, oh, no, that's conspiratorial. Oh, really? Do they have an AIPAC representative they talk to, an Israeli lobby representative? If you ask them, you get them on the record, either they'll lie to you or they'll say, yeah, well, of course. I mean, it's just somebody I talked to from AIPAC, and he always tells me what to say, but it doesn't mean anything. I independently decide that I'm gonna follow exactly what he says 100% of the time, right? And they're doing it right now. They're doing it right.
Oh yeah, I don't know if you saw this, but I think this was back then too. Oh, this was recent, Jesus. Oh no, this was a year ago, yeah, okay. To be fair, claims that they were dancing is very offensive, as there is no proof of such behavior. Aside from the witness who called the authorities after she saw it happen, FBI and police documents state that the Israeli nationals claimed that they were simply documenting the events on 9/11, which they definitely had no idea about ahead of time. They just have this incredible talent of predicting terrorist attacks before they happen.
You know, these guys.
I kind of wonder,
make the Jews seem like goddamn superheroes.
Yeah.
They just control everything.
Yep, they got it all.
It's like awesome, bro. Except everyone wants to kill them. But that's the heavy as the crown.
So everyone that is going with that talking point is literally an Israeli asset. So if you want to cry about that, no problem. You want to blame me, no problem. Let's get into that fight. Let's have that national debate.
Let's do it.
I say that people who are taking talking points from Tel Aviv and then disseminating it here in America, destroying their own party for another country.
They really do excel at that.
Is an asset.
Yeah.
It's not just someone we disagree with, is an Israeli asset, okay? And so they're all over our media and they're all over our politics. True. Oh no, that's so crazy, really?
Is it
Well,
though?
they give money to 94% of Congress. Why the hell did they give the money?
They're not getting anything for
They gave the money for their health. Really, those people vote with them every time,
It's so
not because of the millions of dollars they got. And you're a reporter and you couldn't follow the money.
Come
so
on.
if you say, hey, I can't tell why Hakeem Jeffries keeps voting with Israel when he's gotten $1.7 million from the Israeli lobby, you're not a reporter, you're an Israeli asset.
Yep.
Because everyone with any common sense knows that's why Hakeem Jeffries is loyally serving Israel.
Serving them.
Everyone who has eyes and ears knows that. But our reporters, cable news anchors, all in unison pretend, oh, I can't see anything. I can't hear anything. I'm the dumbest person in the country. Follow the money.
Yep.
Oh, Donald Trump got over $300 million from the Adelsons, an Israeli family, and then has said in public that he moved our embassy for them.
Wait, how much did he get from the? How much was that jet worth? Just that one thing?
Qatari jet.
One
400.
thing? Yeah. What was? Oh,
400 million, right? Is that what she was?
Oh, that's weird.
Million, and then it still needs to be retrofit. Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. That's weird.
Policy and let them dictate it because of the money he received from the Israeli lobby. That's obvious to every person that knows the facts. Obvious. But all of our reporters lie in unison. So Anna, it is worse than you're saying. Like, and today,
no, it's more. It's worse. It is.
There is one piece of hope. I'll get to that in a second.
No, there is no hope. There is no political solution.
That's our disagreement.
There is no political solution. You got mealy mouth.
Damn! You understand that, right? There is no political solution. Moving them did not work. Working them did not work. Talking about them did not work. We need a what doing it.
Do you think our YouTube channel will be demonetized over this?
Jesus Christ. That is crazy. Oh my God.
There's no hope. There is no political solution.
This is the JQ also, by the way. The idea that Jews have infiltrated every level of society to such an extent that there's no way to disentangle them from being a corrupting influence on your society. And the Jewish question is, what the fuck them? What do you do about it?
There is no political solution. You got mealy-mouthed Democratic candidates who pretend like they're fighters, and then they cower at the first sign of trouble from the freaking establishment mob.
Freaking establishment,
okay, I'm sick of it, and they should be called out for it. Again, if you don't want the heat, then don't campaign with a Twitch streamer who says edgy things because he needs to carry an audience and needs to entertain an audience.
Yeah. You think people would watch Hassan if he wasn't allowed to just say a few edgy things, by the way?
I just don't understand it.
And it's, again, worse than you think.
Aside from that, let me just please make my point, okay? When I say that there's no political solution.
they're having like a one-up session where they're trying to outdo each other with the fucking crazy shit they're saying. Like, no, my turn, let me go.
This is what I mean.
This is like they're doing like a rap off. And Dan is the Jew, and me and you are Cenk and Anna. My turn.
The establishment in both parties are not going to allow any change. They think that they can keep the scam going and everything's gonna be okay. The Democratic establishment thinks we could just keep playing the same games we've been playing for literally freaking decades.
Decades, man.
The losers that we are who accomplish absolutely nothing for our voters. And then when voters finally realize what I've realized at this point, there is no political solution. What do you think is gonna happen? What do you think is going to happen when the people don't feel listened to?
Whoa.
When they see the disgusking schemes that these freaking
schemes.
I mean, this
they're schemers.
dinosaur,
They're schemers.
Tandon, this freaking dinosaur. What are you doing? Why are you still around? You are
Mr. Mutton. Hello, Mr. Mutton. That was misogynistic. That is not okay. Hello. Oh, Mr. Mutton, nothing to say about that. Okay.
He's not paying
I'm
attention.
Confused.
No.
What? Wait, why are you yelling at me though?
Didn't you say something about misogyny?
No. That was Metalhead Sword has been crying about misogyny.
Oh.
Oi!
You're a loser. When the people don't feel listened to, when they see the disgusting schemes that these freaking, I mean, this dinosaur, Mira Tandon, this freaking dinosaur, what are you doing? Why are you still around? You are a loser. You are a loser. People loathe you. Maybe not your establishment friends, but the people, Democratic voters, loathe you.
Yeah.
But she's still here. She's still here, muddying the waters, playing these little games, helping a Republican win a Senate seat in Michigan.
Are you freaking crazy?
So for Democratic voters who don't get it yet, they don't care about you. People like Neera Tandon couldn't
They only care about Israel.
If Mike Rogers wins that Senate seat. In fact, she would prefer it. And it's just, they're the same. It's the uniparty.
So
they're the same.
Why would you prefer a Republican winning that seat in Michigan?
They're the same. They are the same.
So no.
Just curious, because I know it was so fucking inconceivable before when I was saying like, hey, maybe you guys should cover these things like a little bit more critically. What does all the coverage right now look like from all of our
well, this just happened, man. They haven't had time. Josiah's working on it,
I'm just curious how they're framing things. It's just like, oh, all these crazy, unfair attacks against poor Hassan, and I don't know.
Anna, this is super obvious. They prefer the Republican to win, not just Abdul's seat, but every seat that the Democrats who are opposed to Israel are running in. Every single one. Why? Because obviously they're not loyal to the Democratic Party. So who are they loyal to? The donor class. Now they're loyal to big pharma, big oil, defense contractors. That's who Neera Tandon, Ken Martin, Josh Gottheimer, all of them serve loyally. But AIPAC is the mother lode. They were big pharma normally #1, but the last 2 election cycles, AIPAC has spent the most money, giving contributions to members of Congress and through the super PACs, a lot more money, dark money, all to Democrats and Republicans who will serve Israel. That's a stone cold fact, and they can't argue with that fact. That's why they never.
Oh, Josiah's attacking Jeffries today. Nice. 1 hour ago, Jeffries insisted no one in the Trump cartel gets a pass in yesterday's video, but this reporting is extremely alarming since it's coming from within his own House Dem ranks. And if he can't assuage concerns within the caucus, no way in hell he'll mollify concerns from without.
Classic.
11 likes on that? Wait, what the fuck?
Josiah doesn't.
It's about to get signal boosted, don't worry.
Okay.
Engage in the actual issues. They always go, oh, anti-Semite, make sure you cancel him. Make sure, don't ever let him talk again. If he talks again, everyone will realize he's right. So cancel Hassan, cancel Cenk, cancel Anna, cancel every politician who's ever touched them. So that way we don't have to actually address the issues. Because on the issues, the American people will find out that we betrayed them. We betrayed Democratic voters. And do you not know that 80% of Democratic voters disapprove of Israel?
Yeah,
but yet every one of those Democrats comes out and goes, no, I stand with Israel and I stand against
Israel.
My voters.
Yes.
Why do you stand against your voters?
Absolute populism right here, because he's literally saying like it's us versus them. They 85%, aka me and the people, hate this fucking thing, which is like Israel, and like the elite won't like stop working with them.
Well, yeah, these guys are hardcore populists, of course, yeah.
There it is.
Also, keep in mind that this is also one of the reasons why I think populists in general attract the lowest IQ people, and I think anti-Semitism attracts the lowest IQ people. But anti-Semitism and populism is just it goes so great together because Jews are like the ultimate scapegoat for literally everything, and they're always like an amorphous blob of people that somehow have like some unified shared interest. Right now, it's Israel and AIPAC, I guess, and so you can like blame them for everything. It's like it's the holy union of two just positions that tend to attract retards.
In a democracy, that's an incredibly strange thing to do.
It's 2026 and they're still playing 2016 games.
Exactly.
I mean, and nothing has changed, nothing will change. And I'm sorry, if you are signing up to be an insurgent force within the Democratic Party, you can't cower as soon as the mob comes for you.
Okay.
You don't apologize once the mob comes for you. And that's the thing, I don't care.
She's so mad at Abdul for not covering for Hassan. And again, like the level of narcissism and shamelessness you have to have for Hassan to be out here and these people to be saying unironically, like, I can't believe they're not trying, that Abdul's not like banking his whole campaign on laundering my nephew's reputation is just insanity, dude.
See the difference between how we think and Hassan thinks? Like, I remember the other day I was on here, it's like, why is Hassan not just being like, look, Abdul, this is getting way too hot. Just throw me into the bus. Like, you can't f your shit up. And you're like, dude, Hassan's never going to do that. I can't imagine that not only is he not doing that, he's upset.
That he didn't go harder for him?
Yeah, this is crazy to me. I would be so shamed if I had 1/100th of what's happening right now, where a fucking Democrat might not get elected because of something that I did.
Destiny's Cowboy Fact Check. Thank you for giving 5 or 15 subs and kick chat.
Instead, Hassan's like, why the fuck are you condemning me? Do not even think of doing that. It's mental. And then these people are like, why are you not covering for Hassan? I don't know, because one's a senator and the other one abuses animals.
Kind of crazy. Kind of insane.
I'm so sick of it. I'm sick of the apologies. I'm sick of the lies. I'm sick of the establishment, and I'm sick of.
Also, just as that thing, I'm like, I don't think I'm especially gifted in this arena. I don't even cover politics as much as other people. None of this was hard to see coming, okay? This was not a Nostradamus prediction that this whole thing would be a massive show. But every cuck lib content creator all said that this wouldn't be an issue, that it was overblown, that we shouldn't be infighting, that none of this was going to be that big of a deal. Every single person refused to treat any of this seriously whatsoever. So now Republicans are getting the first stab at it, which is horrible for our side. None of this was that hard to see coming. This is so ridiculous that we're having to deal with this right now.
Pretending as though the elections actually matter when every single time the same games get played, the same people get fooled by the stupid tricks that get played, and we find ourselves in the same situation over and over and over again. So I just, nothing's gonna change, Cenk.
No,
nothing's gonna change. Okay,
no.
what's gonna happen?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you.
Come on, Cenk,
first,
tell us.
I gotta back up what you're saying with 3 different points, get you even angrier, and then I'll come back with hope, okay?
Okay.
So number 1, look, Abdul did not He was very strong during the primary. He didn't back away from any of this stuff, and that's why he won.
Yeah.
So don't tell me it doesn't.
Yeah, he won because of Hassan. Yes, where that election that he had a 15-point lead in every single poll that he scraped by with. Was that the one? That was within like 3,000 votes? That was incredibly close. Yeah, no problem there, guys.
It does work. Don't tell me we can't win. We just won, right? Now, having said that, you're right. I just looked it up, and it's being framed as Abdul El-Sayed backs away from Hassan Piker, withdraws his support, et cetera, et cetera. It makes it look like he's running away from this issue.
It looks weak.
It looks weak,
and it looks weak, and it looks like he's guilty.
You should have defended
Not just that
my
Hassan
nephew.
is guilty for this is Anna's right, man. There's a lot of things Hassan has said that I don't agree with at all, and that are deeply problematic in my opinion.
Yes,
and it doesn't matter. I don't have to agree with him because he's my nephew, and I don't have to disagree with him because he's my nephew, and I don't have to speak out for him. I don't have to do anything.
Cenk's such actually, like when Hassan really caught a lot of shit, he like made, and it was going to affect him. He made Hassan come on and out. And be like,
dude,
say
that
you're sorry,
stream.
Hassan.
Well, I'm gonna have to disagree with you there, okay? Because that was a W stream. That was hilarious as fuck to watch. Okay, we loved that stream. We appreciate him bitching out because that was fucking hilarious to watch.
Yes, but
Hassan have to go. He looked like a big kid that was being dressed down by his dad in front of like the principal or something. Oh my god, no, but that's true. Yeah, when he was catching a ton of flack, he had to bring him on and do a whole ass thing because that was back when Hassan was an employee for the Young Turks and explain why. Hassan, can you explain to these nice folk out here, why? What you said isn't really what they think you said or whatever. Yep, that's true.
Yep.
Yeah, he didn't have his nephews back then, and he wasn't running for any huge fucking office.
Yeah, why didn't you be like, hey, you know what? Hassan said it was fine. He meant this. This is ridiculous. But instead he made him suffer.
Yeah.
So where I agree with him, I tell you 100%. Where I disagree with him, I tell you 100%. But this quote was absolutely nothing wrong with it. In fact, he's trying to protect Jewish Americans from being put in harm's way. That's why I'm so disgusted at the obvious lies. So no, Abdul should not have backed away from that. But to be fair to him, I didn't see his comment, so I really can't judge it. But that's a tiny thing.
I didn't see it.
And my guess is Abdul's been very strong. He'll probably see it and rally.
He'll walk
That's
it back.
my guess.
Yeah, he'll rally.
Put that aside. Now the two things that are enraging. Ken Martin, pretending to be a progressive, became the head of the DNC. Then immediately,
this guy
does an attack on progressives within the DNC, and immediately starts protecting the establishment and starts saying, "Oh no, we need corporate PAC money and foreign government money, and we need to drown the Democratic Party in corruption." Right? And now today he comes out and he's attacking Abdul El-Sayed. You're the head of the DNC.
I know. It's
That's
so
the most important swing state.
So
and he's helping the Republicans by doing that AIPAC talking.
Did he even say Abdul's name? Or are they just anything that's condemning Hassan, are they just wrapping that in with Abdul?
Hold on, let me take a look at the
Destiny's Cowboy Fat Check. Thank you for 25 more gifted subs in Cake Chat.
Sheesh. Who do we get today? There's been a few, so. Who are you at? The Ken something?
Ken Martin. Because it would be extra.
Yes.
He said.
Well, no. Here's what he said. He said, I'm going to read it for you. Criticizing the policies and actions of the Israeli government is one thing. Blaming American Jews for the hatred, threats, and violence directed at them is something else entirely. It is dangerous, wrong, and anti-Semitic. No Jewish American should be held responsible for the actions of a foreign government, and there is never any justification for threatening the safety of Jewish communities. We must confront anti-Semitism wherever it appears with resolve and zero tolerance.
So he didn't even mention. He didn't mention Hassan. He's clearly talking about it, but he definitely didn't mention Abdul El-Sayed. So it's funny that these are the ones that are trying to, so desperately tie Hassan and Abdul together. It's so crazy.
Well, you know why though. I think I know why. Do you know why?
I mean, I can guess for a few reasons. What would you want me to go first?
The reason I think why is because they don't want they see him as like, this is our end.
Yes,
right?
Yeah,
this
he's like a life
guy.
raft. You don't want to dissociate.
You can't. Yes.
Yeah, of course.
You have to stay strong. You have to stay with
because if he makes it into the Senate, they want to be able to point to him, like Hassan tries desperately to do with Mamdani, and say like, "Oh, look, no, that's our guy. Like we did it, and that's like our dude, and we all work together." And
yeah. And if he bends at all, then it's no longer their guy. Now it's the establishment guy. Now it's Destiny's guy, and it's like, wait a second, we don't like that guy anymore.
I don't know they're necessarily thinking that, but yeah, no, I know.
They fold. Yeah.
Well, some might be.
Point.
It's so pathetic, guys. The Democratic establishment is scum. They don't care about you. They don't even care about winning elections, okay? All they care about is appeasing their donors, getting down on their knees, opening their mouths, appeasing their donors. That's all they freaking do.
Okay.
And it's so disgusting how this is playing out. Look, the thing that I can't stand about this, despite my issues with Haas, everyone knows my issues with Haas, what I can't stand is injustice, and I can't stand when I see establishment figures intentionally lie to voters, and that is what's happening here. In this regard, in this specific story, voters are being lied to in an effort for the establishment to appease their donors and hurt Abdul al-Sayed's chances of winning that Senate seat, which could only mean one thing. They're trying to help Mike Rogers, the Republican, win that Senate seat.
Exactly.
It is a coordinated attack on Democratic candidates by the Democratic Party.
They're so disgusting.
And that doesn't make any sense at all unless you live in an occupied country where the leaders
where the gods, Zionist occupied government, let's go. What? Hello?
Hello?
What?
My soundboard, why doesn't that play?
I mean,
that's not even a good Zog sound. Whatever.
of both parties and the media serve a foreign country. And so guys, you're gonna find out later, like a lot of you already know, but for the people in the establishment,
what do we know? Tell us.
They're gonna be the very last people to find out, right? Or pretend that they're finding out. Israel has had a network in this country for a long, long time, not of Jewish Americans.
Okay.
I've got Jewish family, they didn't do anything, they're not part of any network, neither is your dentist, neither is.
What is his Jewish family? What is that a reference to? Has he ever talked about this Jewish family before?
I have
your
no
plumber,
idea.
okay? They're not part of any network. But is there a network of a limited number of people who are radical Zionists in this country, that if anyone criticizes Israel, they literally have a strategy, which they have said in public, to destroy their lives, so that everyone knows, don't ever criticize Israel. Do they have a strategy of buying off our politicians? It's brazen, it's obvious. In fact, after every election night, AIPAC puts out a tweet saying, this is another 21 seats we have won for Israel. Well, what happened? I thought you said you didn't control anything or influence anything. They brag about how they control both parties. They say it out loud, they say it in public. And then the media comes in and goes, don't quote them. If you quote them, I'm gonna call you an anti-Semite, and I'm gonna bring in this network of Israeli assets who will try to destroy your career so you could never speak in the media again. And now you say, well, Cenk, how'd you do it? Well, I built my own network. Because if I say it at MSNBC, I would have been fired immediately.
Jews.
The minute I criticized Israel 1%, I would have been fired
1%.
immediately. True on CNN, true on Fox News. And all of this coordination is happening by chance? No. Now let me get to the final story that's gonna enrage you, Anna.
Yes.
Recently talked to a candidate. I'm not gonna give away who it is.
Don't say who.
I'm not gonna give away which state.
Definitely not like a Trumpism right there. I talked to a guy, business owner, can't say who because everybody will attack him. Go ahead.
This person is now going to be candidate for the Democrats.
Okay.
And the moderate Democrats in that state call her in and say, okay, now you have a position that is not fully supportive of Israel. So we assume you're an anti-Semite. Now we're gonna grill you.
Yeah.
And you have to prove to us that
God.
you're not a guilty anti-Semite.
This definitely happened. This is really awkward. I remember when we were trying to figure out who to help in our campaigning, one of the candidates described this process, and it's so awkward. I think Schumer comes in and he starts quizzing you like on all the fucking Jewish holidays and everything, and if you don't know every fucking answer, it's rough.
Otherwise, we're gonna destroy you, okay? Then not good enough. Meeting after meeting. Then she has to meet with Jewish groups. But she didn't say anything about Jews. Okay, fine. But at least they're Jewish Americans and they're part of the community. Then she has to meet with pro-Israel groups.
No, she doesn't have to do a damn thing.
And they say, if you don't apologize to the Israelis, the Democratic Party will destroy you, even though you're a Democratic candidate.
I would take the meeting with the Israelis and tell them exactly what I think of them.
So tell me this isn't coordinated with—
She like is envisioning herself as this like fucking heroine or whatever, of like some massive fight against like this evil, corrupt, like, oh my God, bro.
They do it to every—
I'd meet the whole Israeli government secret society head on and I'd fight them and I'd never capitulate.
Candidate. Tell me it isn't coordinated when they destroy their own candidates on behalf of a lobby. It's outrageous. So Anna, what's the only hope?
There is none.
Number one, we just showed, Anna, we just showed it to you
Anna.
right in front of your eyes.
Anna.
Open up your eyes.
Come on, Anna.
You run strong, which is your point, and they all won. They all won their primaries. Everyone who
That's not even remote. What about Francesca? They just we don't talk about Francesca here, guys. We don't talk about her, okay? And all the ones in California
ran strong, including Abdul El-Sayed, won their primaries. The ones who cowered lost. The ones who said, yes, this is my position, and yes, it represents 80% of Democrats, what are you gonna do about it? And the media was like, oh, the Democratic voters are evil anti-Semites, and you should be destroyed. And the Democratic voters said, kiss my ass. Kiss our collective American ass.
My God.
And they put all of them into the elections, the general elections, and into Congress, because a lot of them are in blue districts. Abdul's in a purple district. That's why he's in a purple state. That's why he's a bigger threat to Israel. That's why they had to get all of their assets in the Democratic Party
everybody on
to
board.
attack at the same time
Everybody
against
on
their
board.
own candidate. Now, the final piece of hope is, Anna, we just, again, another thing. Like it happened right in front of our eyes and ears, right?
What?
So Donald Trump came into the Republican Party in 2015 and with no support at all, yes, he was a celebrity, but single-handedly took over the entire Republican Party and remade it in his image. Now, so that doesn't mean that was a positive thing, but it
Wait a second. Hold on. You don't think that he's about to explain that their goal with the Democratic Party is like exactly the thing that I've been saying that we should probably be worried about, because it seems like that's what the DSA is trying to do. He's not about to say that's exactly the exact thing that they're trying to do, right? That'd be wacky and wild, no?
shows you all you gotta do is have one guy win the primary.
Oh, wait. He's not completely and totally describing the fear that I had in my AOC hypothetical, or talking about Mamdani or anybody else. Well, you have a person that can keep the door open for your more radical people to come through, right? He's not describing that as well, is he?
Presidential primary.
You can't do
That's
that.
it.
You can't do that with mealy-mouthed Democratic candidates.
Well, then you find a candidate that is not mealy-mouthed.
Feels impossible.
Surround them with a teammate of Americans who are very strong, and you run against the Democratic Party, against the establishment.
And
you
against
run
AIPAC.
on behalf of the American people. And what you say, well, if you're gonna run against the Democratic Party, why are you in the Democratic Party? Because I hate the Democratic leadership that is corrupt and against the Democratic voters. Our job is to take the Democratic Party back for the voters. And it is indisputable that we represent them, and they do not.
There you go.
On the issue of Israel,
Send this to Pisco.
80% are on our side.
80%.
By the way, on the issue of paid family leave, 84%.
There you
Money
go.
out of politics, 93%.
All things that the Democratic Party traditionally hates, by the way.
Every single issue, Medicare for all, 65%
Yep.
of the country, over 80% of Democratic voters. On every single issue, the populist left is incredibly popular. The establishment left is despised.
True.
DSA has its own issues, but they join us on the important economic stuff, not the socialism stuff, but universal health care, higher wages for the average American, etc. If one strong candidate wins this whole thing, and once he's the Democratic leader, all the near attendants can cry and yap and yap. Oh, Israel,
Man,
we
they
love
hate 'em.
Israel. Oh, I hope our Democrats lose. I hope Democrats lose. We love Israel. They can yap all they want, but they're gonna yap out in the yard because they're not going to be in the party anymore. They're not gonna have any power at all, and no one cares about you. You're not important. The only thing that props up all of these corrupt Democratic officials
is money.
money.
That's it. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's a
Well, that
shrimp
money
lies.
gets you a lot of false ads about
Shrimp
whatever to try to destroy these candidates. Anyway, we'll see how it plays out. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll discuss other
Israel or
things,
something.
including
Israel?
a trade
Gonna go
war
like-
with Canada.
Hassan
Piece of shit
Piker.
out of some fucking bag with Israel stuff on it.
Piker.
I appreciate that, Destiny.
All right, bye.
Remember to hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so that my videos show up right in your feed.